Rum and Miss show that you are currently tuned into will begin in about 5 minutes. Until then, enjoy this wonderful tune.
Why does a good man have to die? Another piece of shit to be born. Reason of tear in my flesh. My heart is ripped, my soul is torn. Why does a good man have to die? Another piece of shit to be born. Your soul is pure when your pocket's so dry. My rage is hate in the center of your eyes.
Wow.
And then it's like you come back and show these bitches how it's done. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm not giving away for free all the time like you bitches are. Like,
Welcome to Realm of the Mist podcast. I'm so glad I turned the mics on right as she said that. What's up, guys? It's Chris Wild. Well, Chris Stolley Wild. Chris Stolley back with another Realm of the Mist podcast. And hey, joining me tonight, as always, is the mouth from up north, Miss Venus.
hey.
And making his triumphant return to Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Hasn't been seen since this show was called Breaking the Fourth Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Batista Sr. What's up, Eric?
Nothing much, dude.
Well, you came at the right time to join the show. Right now, unfortunately, Brian Miller is stuck at work still. Apparently, he's shoveling a whole bunch of shit or dealing with a whole bunch of shit. Fertilizer. Come on, guys. You know, but I had a show lined up. I had cliff notes for us to discuss. I've got a couple things we can discuss. But really, this is going to be a wing it show. If you can't tell, we were just talking about like pregnant nudity. Which is probably a good place to start.
Lots of people find it beautiful and glamorous and stuff. Like, okay, I'll be like 23 weeks pregnant on Thursday, and like I've got lopsided nipples right now. So, how women actually pull it off being pregnant, like I would love to know.
I don't believe you. Prove it.
Oh God.
I can't help myself. I'm a pervert. I know it. There's a little blue dot over my house in Google Maps. I know it. But well, no. I mean, in fairness, I know there's a market out there, just like we were joking about on one of the other episodes. It was it had to be said actually with Venus, where I was making the joke about the midgets fucking in a dresser drawer, and Eric, Brian had to go look it up to see if it actually existed, and come to find out it did. And that was so hilarious that it was mentioned on other podcasts that we got him to look up.
Really?
Oh yeah. WPS podcast actually mentioned the fact that we had Brian look up midget porn and discovered that I was right about midget men being very gifted. But
Wow.
But I mean, from that you know that like there's a market out there for everybody. Like I was sitting there thinking to myself, like I find pregnant women extremely sexy when they're pregnant with my child. You know, I guess it's more of like an emotional connection deal. It's like that's my baby in there. That's awesome. But you're right. There's some women out there where you're just like, ugh. Like, did somebody somebody fucked you to make that happen? Ugh. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm sorry.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like pregnancy is not all glamour and everything. The women who can pull it off, like fucking props to you. But we were just talking about on Instagram, this pregnancy page wanting me to send them pictures for their page, and I was looking at all the other pictures there, and I was just like, ugh, this is so distasteful. These women like should not be sitting there naked in a bathtub right now. They shouldn't be, and I didn't want my pictures up next to them because I'm that fucking conceited and shallow.
It's like boiling a turkey.
Well, it's just some women are just too much, you know. Like you don't need to be sitting in the bathtub and looking like you're boiling a turkey. But I mean, like there's like so other tasteful ways to like take pictures and stuff and whatnot. Like I did like a little private shoot by myself. And, like, I was clothed and stuff, and, like, it was still a lot more tasteful than, like, what I see a lot of women doing.
Oh, no.
But what about, like, the plaster stuff? Like, you ever see the molding stuff? Like, they do stuff like that, too, pregnant women.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's lots of stuff. My bacon just spat at me. There's lots of stuff you can do, but there's okay, you could go on the internet and find a million naked girls right now, and you know you're gonna like their pictures because like they're naked, but I mean like how many of them actually look like they're done like, you know, classy, or like they actually look good, and not just like fuck me type of deal, but like, hey, you know, I'm feeling glamorous, and you know, I'm like all natural, like in the nude or something, you know. It's like a whole different idea.
Well, we also got to be fair too. Again, like I said with the, and I'll take a consensus on this too here. For myself, I find, you know, pregnant women to be very sexy when it's somebody I impregnated. First off, I found them sexually attractive enough to impregnate them to begin with, but then it's also the fact, here's this beautiful woman who is carrying my child. You know what I mean? So I'm obviously, I personally believe it's a little bit more of a an emotional attachment than a physical one. That being said, though, I mean, do you think this is really marketed towards people that maybe have a fetish for pregnant women? Maybe it's for lesbians because, let's face it, without a turkey baster, they can't do that. You know, or do you think it's more along the lines of like this shit that you want to talk about tomorrow with the, and I'd be kind of going to lead into it. It's almost like going to be a part 1 and part 2 tonight.
An Easter egg dropping right here.
Yeah, or do you think it's more like a third wave feminist thing, like the fucking moms who decided to make their own lesbian ugly bitch porn to show their children because real porn is not reality based and violence and rape and blah blah blah.
Ugh, like they just shut the fuck up.
Well, for that group, do you think that maybe these types of pregnancy nudes, if you will, are meant for that, or do you really think this is just supposed to be like confidence in art type deal, and it really has nothing to do with sexuality to begin with?
Okay, maybe if it did look artsy and classy and was like done and portrayed in that way, then yeah. But I mean, like, okay, let's just face it. Some of these bitches have no right to have their clothes off, okay? But it does make women feel good. I mean, it's a confidence booster there. But I mean, if you're not looking good and people are just like, yeah, thanks for the picture, you know, you half-naked pregnant slut. It's a lot different than like, oh my god, like that's gorgeous, like great job, you know.
Well, what I find funny about like some of these people that want to talk about like porn objectifying women, or that the fact that men find, you know, forgive me here, but women like Venus attractive, you know, because they're thin, they're petite, whatever, they're in shape, you know, not anymore. I know you're pregnant, but you know that it's an unrealistic view of women and stuff. But these are the same bitches that are going to sit there and buy the fire department calendars with all the fucking like unrealistic dudes looking like Charlie Hunnam from fucking Sons of Anarchy. Ain't none of them women running out to buy a fucking nude fucking calendar of Eric and I. You know?
Well,
let's be real. Ain't none of them women that are bitching about like objectifying other guys, objectifying women, are not rushing out to buy, you know, chubbyrooster.com's fucking calendar, you know?
Or midget porn.
Or midget porn. You know, so isn't that reverse objectification, you know?
It is. Like, yeah, women are not all perfect and thin and everything. Like, I've got, like, small fucking tits. I'm obviously not perfect. But, like...
Depends on the person you ask. We had this conversation. Depends on... I personally, well, I can't speak for Eric, but personally, I prefer smaller chests of women.
You also got to look at the fact is that, you know, I don't look at a woman for her breast. There's other things, qualities that the woman has. Whether there's pregnant, I dated pregnant women before. I dated women who had kids. There's no difference, really. You know what I mean? They can get that figure back. It's amazing how someone can have a child after carrying their belly for 9 months, and they got big, and within a couple weeks they're back to their normal size again. It's like, where the heck did they get their skin stretched like that? That's my whole perspective of it. I'm amazed on how the body can change like that and get a big bum, and all of a sudden it just shrinks again. You're like, Dan, can you go back to being pregnant? I really like that view I had before. You know?
Wait, that's what
Wow,
amazes
you're
you?
one in a million.
That's what
You're
that's...
one in a million, Eric.
You gotta remember, the girls I dated, most of them had good, decent size bosoms, but it didn't matter to me. That's not what I went out with them for. You know what I mean?
No, that's exactly the point I was trying to make to Venus when she made that post on Facebook, is that there are guys like myself who actually prefer more petite body styles, including breast, bum, whatever. Eric will tell you most of the girls I've ever dated usually would be classified, as flat in the front and the back. But that was just that was my thing. That doesn't mean that I kicked any big chested or big booty women out of the bed if the opportunity arose. But it's just that's what I preferred. But like Eric said, most guys, we don't care.
Are
far from shallow. Yeah, we may have like a look that we prefer, but there's more than just the look that we look for in a person. That's more than just, but let's put it this way: if the only thing the person cares about is your looks, then the only thing he has on his mind is fucking you and moving on.
But you know what? I found that about most men. Most men, they're not attracted to obese women, okay? And I don't blame them. Obese women is just unhealthy. And scientifically, they're not attracted to someone you can't have a child with. So if they're naturally unhealthy, you don't want to be copulating with them. You just don't. My dog is so annoying.
She used an actual term on this show, copulating. Holy shit, we are getting an education here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
And then okay, there's people walking by, dog. They're walking by, and you're in the house. You're not going to get any closer to them if you're on a 12-foot leash, okay, outside. Just knock it off. My God. And can you hear him crying, too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he wants to do, but yeah, I'll just put him outside. But, okay, so then you have, women that are, anorexic looking. They're not attractive either, okay? And, okay, I'm straight, and I could say they're not attractive. A girl who's a little bit chubby or something, or, a girl who's, works out or something, who, takes care of herself. Obviously, girls that eat, you can go have a meal with a girl. That's sexy. A woman's personality is what is, sexy. If she's got confidence and she, exudes this, natural sexuality or, mixed with confidence, that's sexy. I've seen women that I could define as sexy, and I'm still straight.
Well,
it had nothing to do with really their looks.
Well, let's be fair. Obviously, we're gonna be teaching people about sexual attractiveness and what is sexy and classy and what is trash. I could tell you right now, every woman on Facebook, on Instagram, on Tumblr, on whatever fucking selfie time pictures where you're doing your duck faces and everything else, okay? Some of you are attractive, some of you are not. But you know what's classy? It's not being a bitch. Okay?
Well, sorry.
An empowered woman is not a woman who fucking treats other people like garbage, be it male or other women. That's just being a cunt. That's being a bitch. That's not attractive not only to the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on how you swing. That not only is that not attractive to that, but it's attractive for yourself. You're
I'm
making.
So guilty.
But you get where I'm coming from. What's more attractive, Marilyn Monroe or the Cash Me Outside bitch? Which attitude is more attractive?
Yeah, I think it comes down to more than that than just physical looks. If you've got the right personality, and maybe you're a 7, you're gonna be an automatic 9, just with the right personality.
Exactly. I mean, you could be classy, you could be in charge, you could be self-confident without being conceited, egotistical, and using that conceitedness or egotisticalness to be raised by belittling others in some way, shape, or form. This whole entire boss bitch mentality that a lot of women have been extruding in today's society, that's not attractive. In fact, that just
screams low self-esteem.
Yeah, that in fact that personality 9 times out of 10 would make me turn the other way and go talk to the lonely homely girl sitting in a corner that doesn't want to talk to anybody because she's afraid she's not good enough for people. I would rather go talk to her. You know what I mean?
Too.
Personally. Eric, am I wrong in this?
Nope, not at all. Because they're human being too. You know what I mean? Because you got like I said, I seen the upper class kind of girl. You got the middle kind of class girls, and then you got the lower class. And I'm always thinking that I don't care about your looks, because when you're 80 or 90 years old, you're not gonna look like the Barbie doll that doesn't change. You know, we're gonna grow new features, gray hair, you know, all that. We're not gonna be the same.
One day you're gonna look like us.
Yeah.
We'll all look the same, like saggy fucking prunes with tits and hanging balls, whether we're female or male.
You know what? The enemy of everybody is fucking gravity, okay? In the end of the day, something is hanging lower than it used to when you were 20 fucking years old, okay?
I'm actually in, like, better shape now than I was at 20.
I'm not.
Everyone's, like, quiet. Like, what?
Nah, not me either. You know, I'm with Chris on that one.
But now, like, I have a lot less stress in my life. Like, I get to be a lot calmer. I don't even have to be that bitch that you're worried is gonna bite you. Like, I'll bite you, but I'll make you like bite yourself. Like, I'm not putting in the effort for that anymore.
Well,
like, things have been a lot calmer.
I think
so,
she's
like,
right about
I'm in a better
that. I think she's
I'm in
right
a better
about
space
that.
mentally. So, being in a better space mentally, probably just, like, it reflects on your body.
I think she's absolutely right about that because Eric, I mean, you and I were up there in years now, compared to somebody like Venus.
Oh yeah,
and
she's got it.
And the truth of the matter is I don't think I'm as angry as I used to be, which is really sad if you listen to these podcasts. And 9 times out of 10, I'm ranting about something. But I mean, like, I used to be the type of guy that was always out looking for a fight, like. Or I shouldn't say I was out looking for a fight, but I was more than willing to throw down to anybody who disrespected me in some way, shape, or form. Nowadays, it's like...
I'll throw it down.
Nowadays, like, I'll just either let it roll off my shoulder or I'll do a podcast show and laugh at you. But I won't really get angry about it because I guess I'm more mature mentally about it. Is that the correct way to look at it?
No, there's not. I mean, I know you have kids. I have kids, and I'm guessing this is going to be her first child.
No, it's my third.
Your third?
Oh yeah,
my third, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I had my first one at 19, so
wow.
I was in better shape when I got pregnant for this one than I've ever been in my entire life, pretty much.
I got 2 boys, and I just had. Well, my oldest just turned 18, and he just got his permit, and I'm still debating on what day I'm going to let him go to the parking lot, let him drive. I still got to get my crash helmet on, because I'm down if I'm going to be sitting in the passenger seat without a helmet on.
What day are they evacuating that particular city?
Listen, from what I saw of the video, I know it's his first time getting behind the wheel. I think I just got to give myself some time just to say, all right, let's go and get it over with. Because there's times where I used to let him drive in my parking lot without a license, but he had to drive the straight line, just ride the brake pedal. You know, when I say put your foot on the brake, put in park to move when I was on the ice. That's what I got him to do. And he enjoyed it. I was like, now that's your first lesson. Because he doesn't understand that some cars will take off. And when you see you put in drive, that's when you hold the brake down. He figured it out in my car at one time. I said, oh my God. I said, Kyle, you're going to kill us one day. Just calm down. Calm down.
I learned how to... Oh, sorry. I learned how to drive from playing Need for Speed Carbon. I sat there one day and got to 97% of the game done, No one's ever let me drive before because I'm a girl, so nobody wanted to let me drive. My dad didn't want to let me drive because I'm a girl, so nobody taught me how to drive. I literally sat there all day, learned how to drive, playing an Xbox game. When I got my license and I passed it, and like I hopped, and then I got a car 2 weeks later. I hopped in this car and drove 5.5 hours out of town by myself.
Nice.
Because
Hey.
I was a girl, nobody wanted to teach me. So imagine how life, like, and it's always been, because you're a girl, you can't do this. So imagine how hard life has always been. Like, up until this point when I'm like, I'm a girl, I have the pussy, you do what I say. I've got the power between my legs now, motherfuckers. And I'm completely aware of it now. There's nothing you can tell me I can't do.
Which goes back to a conversation Eric wasn't privy to, but we've had these conversations on the show. We all generally agree this feminine movement of like equality of the sexes and like it's become third wave feminism, which is we're better than all the other blah 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 blah, and it's like, you know what? We all agree women have ruled the world forever. Behind every successful man is a woman rolling her eyes. Because she's rolling her eyes because she's the one with the power. It doesn't matter that she's not in the spotlight. She's the one with the power.
Oh,
Because
Women have to...
because Venus will tell you why do women have the power? Because
we have
every
the
man
pussy.
will do what for what?
Any man will do anything under the fucking sun for pussy. It's like, it's not something you just give up or give out. And it's not something you, like, have complete control over, like flaunt in someone's face and say, like, you see that? I own this shit. But it's like, look, I have that, and it's between my legs, and my legs are crossed. So if you want to get to it, you're going to have to uncross my legs. That means I'm going to have to be comfortable. That means I'm going to have to want to. So, I mean, you've got to work for that shit, or you're not getting it.
sounds just like one of my exes.
Should sound like all of our exes. Let's be fair. Some of it sounds rough the way she's putting it, but in reality, when you think about it, the exes that were easy to get were obviously the ones that were never going to work.
But you know, she's got a good point about it. But then, what I used to do is, like I said, hey, I could play that game too. And I think what actually made the thing more fun is because we would sit and go, we're going to see who would cave in first. So you would do all the things in the world to torment each other. Who's going to cave in and say, I want it now? That was the whole thing.
Men will always cave first. Women have the better toys.
I held off very long, and she could not bear it. And oh God, she was good, but
I'm liking this Eric guy.
you understand something? As Chris knows me, he would tell you that it didn't matter who the girl was. He just said it just looked like I was a movie star, and all the girls would flock. I mean, he can vouch of the girls that would follow.
They thought he was one of the members of New Kids on the Block.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would hold out too. I mean, if you're that desirable, I mean, you don't want everyone getting the goodies, right? It's like, not everyone deserves the goodies.
You gotta make it fun. I mean, I hate to say it, you gotta make sex fun. Because if you keep on doing the same routine, it's just gonna get old and just, well, you gotta find stuff that's gonna make it entertaining and keep thriving to keep it going. Because if you can't do that, you got problems. Like most people, I don't know how Chris is, but I'm straight up honest. I love using toys on girls. I don't care what anybody says. I love using toys.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Cool Whip and a weed eater. I'm all for it.
Cut my head.
But,
no, it's absolutely true, and I mean, you know, you got not only the spontaneity in the bedroom, but there used to be a game. There used to be a cat and mouse game on courting women that men which kind of appealed to men. I mean, it's going to sound patriarchal, but I mean, it really helped women's self-esteem, but it also honed men. Men are hunters by nature. All right,
I'm a hunter by nature.
that's in our DNA. We like to chase our prey, if you will. So women who played hard to get, women who made you work for the first date, who made you work for the first kiss, that made you work for the first, night together. That was more desirable to a man because it appealed to our baser instinct. Women who just, within the glass of water that's given to you at dinner is ready to fucking suck your dick. I mean, that's a conquest. That's not a hunt.
You know what? That you need a balance of both, right? Like if you're single or something, or like just getting into the dating scene, like you need a bit of both. I'm not even gonna lie. Like sometimes you just have to fuck. So I actually see nothing wrong with like these hookups, whatever. Like let's meet and let's do this shit. It's always nice to have a good, reliable booty call, right? I can't even argue with that. But then, like, yeah, that's not the person you're obviously going to hook up with. You're not going to be in a relationship with these people. Like, people just don't realize that. It's like, oh, yeah, I got laid, like, I'm in the door. No, you got laid, that was the door, and now it's closing.
That's it. That's it. A relationship is like a dinner at a nice fancy restaurant. A booty call is drive-through late at night at fucking Taco Bell. Once you've driven through, you're done. There's no other courses to that meal.
On to the next one. Like,
exactly.
The nice sample, I'll keep you on the back burner, Yeah. But I mean, I've had relationships that started that way. I'm a bit of a hunter too. Like once I get my conquest, like I'm keeping you. Like I become like super territorial, but like I'm an Aries, so I guess that's kind of normal. But like we thrive on that kind of stuff, and like yeah, we'll keep you around for a little while, but I mean you're not long term. You're good at sex, you're good at what you do. Obviously, I'm going to keep you close, but like don't like depend. Like you're not getting the dessert. You're getting the dinner, and maybe you'll get the breakfast, but you're not getting dessert.
And don't forget to pay the check on the way out.
If we split, is it really a date?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, Eric knows this. When we were younger, 20 years ago, we looked for the easy booty calls because we were partiers. We weren't necessarily like I don't know what Eric was attempting to do with his life, but at the time I was chasing dreams of being a musician, being a pro wrestler, and I was living that rock star lifestyle. Like I wasn't looking for the relationship, I was looking for a piece of ass, and then the person that I would look at in the morning, like, you're still here? Who are you?
Oh my god, I remember this one time, oh my god, so like I had like this like one night stand or whatever, and like so it was a big turn off because he ended up being a grunter, and so I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but not like a moan or anything, but like like grunting, okay? So that was like a huge turn off, and like as soon as he's done, I'm like, oh okay, you're done. I pick up the phone. He's like, "Who are you calling?" I'm like, "I'm calling you a cab. You gotta go now."
Wait. All I'm envisioning when she says a grunter, all I'm envisioning is like Tim Allen.
Yeah, it's close. It's like the biggest turn off ever. Like, oh my god, like men, don't do that. Don't do that grunting shit.
Well, was it when it? Not that I need to get detailed.
Are you talking about grunting American men, or are we talking about grunting Canadian men? Because it sounds like you're talking about a Canadian man. Because I don't grunt, so I know Chris doesn't. Well, we got out the whips and we're smacking hard.
Well, in fairness,
oh
that was going to be my question. Because in fairness, I might let out a little grunt when I'm like, busting my nut. But not through the whole entire act, Like, if we're talking about, finishing the play, then, yeah, you're going to get some noises out of me, but...
Yeah, but that's expected. You're going to be a little animalistic. You're going to go a little crazy. You're, like, the beast inside of you is going to come out, like, when you're busting it up. But, I mean, doing it the whole time is, like, like, Okay.
Oh yeah, baby, I'm gonna give it to you. That's like that.
It's like, do I fake it just to make him like get it over with? Cause like I'm not turned
Dude,
on right now.
women, let me give you a piece of advice because you're ruining men and you're ruining your own sex life by ruining men. Quit fucking faking it. If you didn't get it, he didn't deserve it. Don't make him think he
You
did.
know what? But you know what? Like, if it's really that bad, my best advice to women is just fake it. Because if he thinks you're getting off, he's going to get off quicker, and it's going to be over with. And I mean, it's just weird to stop in the middle and be like, no, you're grunting. It's
But
just
he's
killing
not.
it for me.
But he's not. I hate to say it, but take one for the team. You and I are sex partners, okay? And I'm the worst fucking lay you ever had, but you keep telling me that it was the best you ever had. You came so hard so many fucking times.
I'm not gonna lie after that.
I'm
not gonna lie after the fact.
But you understand.
Just during is fine.
But you understand, like the dude's gonna walk away from that going like, "Oh, I'm a fucking stud," and he's never gonna improve himself for the next fucking girl. You know what I mean? So you're ruining the whole thing.
If he got a cab called, like, right as soon as he lays down, I'm pretty sure he got the hint, okay? Like, how can you not get the hint that you sucked, okay? But do you really want to, like, make it, like, play out even longer and just be, like, you know, seem like you're not interested or something, you know? And then he gets bored and it may take longer to get... No, just fake that shit, okay? I guarantee it'll be over like nothing. Get in doggy style. That always makes guys bust right away.
Not wrong. Which is kind of actually you bring up a good point. Since doggy style is like the one position that will make guys come in like 2 seconds flat. Why is it like most girls' favorite position? Is it because we suck that bad that you want it over that fast?
Well, sometimes we don't want to look at your face. No. I'm not even kidding. Sometimes we just don't want to look at you. Like sometimes we can reach down and play with ourselves, you know, we can grab your balls, you know, there's so much we can do, like we have so much access to a lot of different things, but sometimes we just don't like your face, and you're not going to ever know, because we won't tell you.
This is taking
Eric's face right now.
This is taking a nice little turn. Are you happy you came back, Eric?
It's not yet. We finally found someone that's just like us in a way.
I know, I've got the mentality of a man. Like, apparently I should have a sex change, like, says, like, oh my god, like, liberal, like, thinking, like,
no.
If I think like a man, I should have a penis. No, I'm fine being a female, okay? I'll give you bitches advice because you obviously don't know what you're doing, but at least some of us know what we're doing.
Dear Venus. Like Dear Abby. Dear Venus.
What are you calling this show tonight? Just out of curiosity.
Well, right now on the stream it says opening a jar of pickles, which was supposed to be last week's title. But then it was going to be this week's title. But again, we're not talking about what that title fits. So when I release this episode, it'll obviously have a different title.
Well, you know what? That title sounds pretty good because I'll be like, damn, that's about a pickle? What the hell are they talking?
Well, let's stay on topic, but kind of veer off from our own personal sexual relationships and things, and go into the world of entertainment a little bit, because let's face it, some of the world is just entertaining as shit.
Some of it, yes.
Let's talk about these bitches that decided, these moms that decided that porn is not reality based. It's male patriarchy. It's violence towards the women. It's basically rape, and it paints an unrealistic view of sex for young women. And that they decided to take it upon themselves to create their own porn using lesbians in an orgy. But
not them. They weren't the lesbians, though.
No, they weren't the lesbians. They hired actresses who were plus size, amputees, whatever, a bunch of cottage cheese going on.
That's not fucking normal. Like, normal women are not amputees. I mean, it happens, but that's unrealistic.
And they're having an orgy, but they're making love instead of like the more violent aspect of pornography, I guess you call it violence. They did. But they did this for intentions of showing their children. Am I the only one whose head exploded when I realized this is for somebody that is not your teenage son sneaking it in their room while they're fucking teaching a tube sock how to stand straight? Like, that this is intended for sex education purposes to children. A porno is meant for sex education for children. Like, am I the only one who thinks that we need to call DHS for this?
Oh, so an orgy is realistic. How many fucking orgies have you guys had in your lifetime, just out of curiosity?
I've had one threesome in my life. That's the closest I've ever been to an orgy, so there's your answer.
I'm trying to count. Okay, I've had at least more than 2 threesomes, but never an orgy.
No. I just did it threesomes. That's it.
I've had one threesome in my life and never an orgy.
Okay, 4 or 5 threesomes maybe in my life. But again, never an orgy. How the fuck is that realistic? Like, we're fucking grown-ass adults and we've never had an orgy. So showing your kids an orgy is realistic sex?
Well, let's be fair. We're grown-ass adults who have all watched porn. We have our own personal porn collections. And not once do we ever expect our woman, or in your case, our guy, to be that.
Okay, let's break down what porn is first off. Porn is fantasy-based, whatever, to bust a nut quick and get back to your shit. You got 5 minutes, you pick up video, and you go. It's fantasy-based. Like, how many men actually like sit there and like fucking throat fuck their girlfriends? Like, not very many, unless their girlfriend is just as much of a pervert and says, "Yeah, throat fuck me." Chris's hand is up.
Once. Once, and you know what? But I felt very dirty afterwards, because I mean, she wanted it, but it's like I felt like I was hurting her. You know, it didn't feel well, like it didn't feel like the fantasy, if you will, in my own head.
Like Eric said, though, you have to keep sex fun and you have to keep it interesting. Hell yeah, you want to experiment with that shit. Okay, let's say for instance, okay, you're like, oh hey wife, I just brought home this BBC to fuck you in front of me. That's unrealistic. Okay, we all know that's not gonna happen. We know it's not gonna happen. If it happens, kudos to that wife, for fuck's sakes. But I mean, there's peggers out there or cuckolders. Okay. I'll explain what a cuckolder is. A cuckolder is a man who likes other men fucking his wife in front of him. That's a cuckolder. They exist, okay? And they're pretty straight up about this shit. So women aren't going to get the surprise of, oh, hey, look, I brought over a bunch of men to game fuck you in front of me. They're pretty open about this. Like, I've talked to a few of them, and it's one of the first things they'll say when they introduce themselves is, yeah, I'm a cuckolder. That's so irrelevant when I'm just meeting you, but thanks for letting me know your sexual preference, okay?
You ever notice, I do have to stop this a minute, do you ever notice that the cuckolder dynamic is always a man who's fine with his woman fucking another man? It's never the other way around. You never find a woman who's down to watch her husband fuck as many girls as he wants.
I am. But men aren't into that. Like, when you're in a relationship, no man is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go fuck this other girl to make you happy, unless you're joining us. No man will do that. Like, they have, like, fucking heads on their shoulders to be like, well, what if she gets jealous or something? Well,
because women will. Okay? Because women will.
You're not going to do this with your best friend. Like, you're going to go to a bar and pick up some random skank and bring her home. Plain and simple. Like it'd be hot to like sit there and like watch my man make this other bitch moan. I'm not gonna lie, like it would be hot. But I've never found a man who would do it.
That's because you're looking at the Canadian men. Sorry, Canada, but
American men will do it.
You come down to Philadelphia for a week. I'll find you fucking 7 dudes a night. That'll be all down for you.
But no, I specifically wanted someone that I was in a relationship to do this, because like Yeah, like, okay, like I find it hot when girls are moaning and stuff, and then if, like, I'm watching my guy give it to her and making her moan and making her scream. Are you fucking kidding me? I would be so hot and bothered by that. But men they think we're all gonna be jealous. Like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be jealous, so I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you right after. But it's all part of the fun and games.
And trust me, understand to the listeners, none of us are placing judgment. If that's your lifestyle, that's your lifestyle. None of us are placing judgment on this. You know.
Well, if I cared, I wouldn't have said it.
Well, no.
For the record.
No. What I'm saying, I'm saying it to the listeners, not to you. I know you don't care. You know,
okay.
To the listeners, it's like, hey, I'm a cuck or a cuckold, and that you're offending me. No, that's not our thing. We're not placing judgment on it. You know. We're trying to understand it with a bunch of people that, you know, don't live that lifestyle. You know, so just to be clear, I don't want anybody. I'm sure we're gonna get angry comments. We always do, but you know, understand we're not doing it because we're trying to be dicks. We're doing it because we're talking about it because it's a conversation.
It's my personal life, okay? It's my personal life that I put it on the line for everyone to judge. You can judge me. I don't care.
You're probably getting marriage proposals. Sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
If you don't like what I do for a living, then hey, screw you. This is what I like doing with a girl, so that's my life, not yours. You know, that's how I look at it.
Eric's like, if you don't like what I do for a living, talking about the podcast and shit like that, do I come to McDonald's and fuck with you at work?
Yeah, come to your house, there, sit there in your freaking bed with a bucket of popcorn, looking at the show. No.
Why not? My sister, oh my god, my sister, okay, speaking of like popcorn and sex, so my sister has this thing with chicken wings.
Whoa, wait a minute. Back this boat up a little bit here. How does chicken wings incorporate with sex? And please tell me it's in the way that just popped in my head.
Oh my god, so no, but I would love to hear what popped in your head after this.
Okay.
So like me and my sister and like a bunch of people, like we're partying at this hotel, like there's a bar attached and we're partying at this hotel. And anyways, so she ends up leaving with one of these guys and she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to get laid. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. And so I was hanging out with this guy's friend, and this guy's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, well, I don't fucking know if they're having sex. I mean, what are you going to do? He's like, well, can I, like, hang out with you for a bit? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we're back in my hotel room, and he's like, well, I'm going to order some food. So we order some chicken wings. Like, and nothing happened between me and him, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm tired. Like, I want to go to bed and shit. And he's like, well, I kind of can't go in the room. I'm like, well, yeah, you fucking can. I mean, you paid for the room. You can go in the room. So he ends up going in the room and, like, all shy and everything, holding this, like, fucking takeout thing of chicken wings. And, like, I got to hear this whole story later because he walks in and he's, like, just sits down on the bed and he's, like, all uncomfortable and shit. And my sister's getting fucked, like, doggy style. And she looks at him and she's like, oh, are those chicken wings? And he's like, yeah. She's like, oh, could I have some? And so starts eating chicken wings while getting fucked. And, yeah, it's always chicken wings with her. Always fucking chicken wings.
I desperately need to meet your family. At least it didn't go the way that I thought it would go. Because I'm sitting there like I have the title for the show now. Extra tasty crispy for her pleasure. I'm sitting there thinking, yeah. Like, is that a drumstick? Wait, put that in my ass.
She came back in the room though, like in my room, like our room that we were sharing, and she's like holding chicken wings, and she's like, "Oh, you know this guy has chicken wings?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, he gave me some," and I'm like, "At which point?" And she's like, "Oh, when he walked in and like this was happening." And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, if the sex was honestly that bad that you could sit there and eat a chicken wing?"
I don't know. I agree with it, man. Like that's a sign of a good time there. Like if you're fucking, you know, banging hard on a girl and it's lasting a good long time, you got hunger issues, man. You know, do it doggy style. You could set a plate right on her ass and get, you know, Be twirling that spaghetti while you're.
Let me get that 50-piece of buffalo wings, all right? Don't get my pieces.
See, doggy style is great for anything. You can even eat in that position. You wonder why women like it. Like, we'll have our sandwich while we're doing it, okay?
Jesus Christ. Come on, Eric, we're doing it. Come on, throw one out there. I think we broke Eric.
I think he's just dying laughing.
Can we get some fast food order here?
That's right. I'm sitting here eating a Big Mac while she's enjoying a Whopper. Oh.
Nice.
There you go. Super size. Well, I think this is a good moment for us to take our quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue more with some food and sex humor, I guess, on Realm of the Mist podcast.
Why didn't the Free Leagues go in for this kind of flat chest?
Does Jesus get to choose which he turns it into?
Why don't Sims have the upper body strength to climb out of a swimming pool?
And does everybody really want to be a cat?
I'm Will Bailey.
And I'm Alex Prescott.
And if you're the type of person that overthinks these deep philosophical questions, then Think to the Brink is the podcast for you.
From Disney characters to song lyrics, debates to social etiquette, tune in every week for your justice and analysis.
All topic suggestions are welcome. If you can think it, we can overthink it. Think to the Brink. Available on all podcast platforms.
He said that she said, how can you say that? That's offensive. Well, someone's getting it. It has to be said with Venus. So live so Tuesdays at 9 p.m. to record that. Get to this week with listener where to record sexual content. Take a when do you dance?
Hi, this is Dave Town Collection, 83 Busselton Pike in Feaster, Pennsylvania. Our phone number is 215-333-32. We are right next to Philadelphia. We have Hear Me Statues, albums, and CDs, graphic novels, other knickknacks, and of course comics. Since 1985, we are your go-to store. Come by and say hello, and say it to the guys. 3 Busselton Pike, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, or call 215-3563.
Hey everyone, this is John Tolley, inviting you to check out War Stars, a Star Wars podcast. Each week, Chris will discuss the news and theories surrounding one of the movie franchises in the world. Every Wednesday at 8 Eastern, as we travel to the galaxy far, far away, right here on Anchor FM and wherever fine podcasts are.
Hey, this is Dak.
Liam.
And this is White People.
A podcast.
Whoa. Maybe you're buying weak. I'm straight and strong.
It means twice a week, you douche.
Oh, yeah. Listen to us twice. White People Station. We talk about gay stuff. Superhero sex positions.
And on Feature Fridays, we feature people a week.
Like a furry.
Search BBS Cast, Dude, Amazon,
Apple Catcher, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else you can cast.
We have an equal opportunity humor. All things can be. So if your feelings get hurt and you're offended, you can always
eat a dick.
Hi, Mike. Here to tell you about some of the cast. Realm of the Mist cast all great entertainment things from movies, music, comic books, many other forms of entertainment. as well as political events and just general having time. If you're looking for a podcast that is right up your alley, look no further than Realm of the Mist podcast. Here, anchor.fm or where podcasts can be heard.
Turtle?
Fucking a turtle.
Are the same old podcast with join after hours where everything is released to us on anchor.fm and while podcasts are heard.
How the fuck did on this?
I don't know.
DC started this shit. It's their fucking fault.
Hazard to the world herself. And my brother, I mean, it was like years ago, so I mean, like, yeah, he's like, yeah, that's my sister, but I was like 5 years old when she did all that, so people are just like, oh, okay.
And welcome back to Realm of the Mist podcast. We're still on sisters. To be specific, we're still on Venus's sister. Eric brought the bucket of chicken. Well, this road accommodation does bring up something that I have experienced, and I'm pretty sure you guys in one way, shape, or form or another have as well. And if not, maybe would you even be interested in it? And that's performing in front of an audience. Sexually, obviously. We're not talking about like a podcast or something like that. We're talking about like you're going to town on a girl or vice or a guy or whatever else, and you've got a room full of people like sitting there fucking applauding. You know?
This ain't no real sex HBO special.
I would actually expect that if that's gonna happen, like they would like start joining in or like fucking each other at some point, because then I would get my orgy. That I've never had with this stupid porn, which is supposed to be realistic. It doesn't happen. Nobody has orgies.
I've known some people that have had it. I just never have.
No, I think nowadays with everything that's going on out there and what you can catch, whatever, I think that's like pretty much died down. I think, you know what I mean? It's all about placing safe sex anymore. For some of us.
Well, you can't. You can't.
Some of us care about our hoo-haws.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is this a shot at me?
Look, I want to talk. No, wait. We can't go there, Chris, but Chris knows. Okay, Chris. What did you do? You came back to Philadelphia. I would have stayed where I was at. To get away from this city? Are you kidding me? All right? I would have stayed in Colorado, and I would have still went out west. And then if I wanted to make a run for the border, I'm going to Canada. I'm not going to Mexico. Forget it.
Yeah. You can be a snow penguin.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're putting a wall down south, so I think you're fine on there. It's easier to get through Canada.
What was that I was hearing? Was it or Mexicans stealing the bricks from the wall that Trump is building?
Are they?
They want to. They
find them in some Tijuana fucking pawn shop. American mortar. 10 pesos.
Jesus. Here's a brick for ya.
And right there we get a copyright strike. Well, not a copyright strike. We get a hate speech strike.
Oh geez.
Oh god, it's all over the internet. I was dying laughing reading that. Like, you're gonna build a wall, and to keep out Mexicans, and Mexicans are just gonna go steal the bricks. Like,
look, I'll paint this one. I'll paint this one straight here, okay? Venus is Canadian, but she's a conservative Canadian. I am a born and raised conservative. I call myself right of center because I do have liberal tendencies. Eric is more to the left. Eric is a self-proclaimed Democrat, correct?
Yep.
All right. But we can all say this with impunity, especially after today. Donald J. Trump is still your fucking president.
But it's so different, like conservative, American conservative and Canadian conservative. Because like I find like American conservative, like they're all like fairly religious and Christian like and whatever. Canadian conservative are just like they want people to work, you know, like they have jobs. They're like the upper middle class that are the working class, or even like just the middle class, whatever. But they're just a working class, and like Americans are righteous, like righteous fucking Catholics, like Bible thumping people. So there's a big difference between Canadian conservative and American conservative. Like none of us are religious. We just work, and we want people to work, and we want to keep our tax money. That's fair, Canadian conservative.
To be fair, I think what you're talking about is the old school conservative, the Republican of the older days, where it was, you know, God and family and stuff like that. But the ideals of the conservative, especially the modern conservative, is less government. We want government out of our normal daily lives. We want less taxes. We want everybody working, so we don't want free handouts to people who aren't contributing to society. And we want government out of our lives. You can't have our guns. You can't have our speech. You can't have, you know, the right to the money that I've earned. And that's the conservative. Religion really has nothing to do with it. I mean, I know plenty of atheist conservatives. You know, but the idealism is still the same.
I mean, you got to understand something. What my thing is, you can build a wall, but here's my whole thing about it. It is going to be useless. These Mexicans will dig 20 feet under the ground and build a railroad to transport to the other side. So you want us to say, let me just dig so deep that no one's getting by.
Well, fair enough, but when you got to think, on the other side of that wall, when they pop up out of that hole, they're going to meet a whole bunch of angry Texans standing with AR-15s and the order to shoot to kill.
You just make sure you're not shooting a kid. That's the whole thing.
No, you don't shoot the kids. You shoot the parents. You take the kids and you put them into care and get them into a nice home. I agree. The biggest problem that I know that like the left mainstream media has been painting is like, oh, conservatives are so evil because of they're separating parents from kids. Understand, if these parents fucking gave two shits about their kids, if they're even legitimately their parents, they wouldn't drag them into a country illegally.
Right. I mean, I can tell you for a fact that in Bensalem, there's, I guess they're called Guatemalans.
Guatemalans, yeah. That's what a lot of illegals are out here. Out here in Bensalem. Out here in Pennsylvania, yeah, but down south in the Midwest, it's heavily Mexican, like Tijuana, Chihuahua. You know, places like that, they're the ones that are hopping the border and coming into the Midwest. Now, again, we're not talking about people who came here legally. We're also not talking about illegals that came here because they wanted a better life. We're talking about the criminal elements that are breaking the law. They know they're breaking the law. They're the ones bringing over the fentanyl and the marijuana and all the other fucking drugs that we don't need in this country. The ones that are fucking trafficking children pretending to be parents. It's been found so many times. These are the things that we're trying to fight against. We're not necessarily fighting against immigration. We're fighting against criminals. The illegal immigrants that came over this country that actually want a better life but maybe didn't know the right channels to do it. Yeah, they get deported back, but they get deported back with the paperwork to start and the knowledge on how to do it right. Welcome them back. Just do it the right way. The wall's going to have a door. Just go through the door.
Aren't they now arresting illegal immigrants that are wanted on criminal charges in the U.S. and holding them?
Theoretically, they're supposed to always be doing that, but the justice system, which is so corrupt in this country, has had a revolving door policy for so long. when it comes to it. They arrest them, they hold them for 48 hours, they release them with a promise that they'll show up at a court date, and then they disappear into the masses of society and never are seen again till they commit a crime and get arrested again. Literally what they constantly been doing with these people over and over and over again. And now they have it even easier because they get their 48 hours, they get released with a promise of a court date, that they'll appear on a court date, and they'll run to one of these sanctuary cities that will not extradite or arrest them.
Or countries, you mean?
No, cities. Philadelphia's a sanctuary city. If you're an illegal immigrant, you can come to Philadelphia. They will never touch you.
Jesus.
Wow.
Listen,
that's not right.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's not right. But there's so many of them here already.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're getting jobs like handed to them. But here's the thing. They're getting paid chump change.
Yeah, but here's the problem with the chump change. Even though it's chump change, they're sending it back to Mexico. And do you know the exchange rate of the American dollar in Mexico? Like, obviously I'm exaggerating here, but like one American dollar is like 10 pesos. So they send down like $5,000. It's like 50 grand to them. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do.
Again, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Obviously, the exchange is not exact, but
everybody else's money is more than ours. It's like crazy.
But the fact of the matter is they're making chump change here, but they're not keeping it here. They're sending it back there for their families or whatever else, and the exchange on that is unreal. Their families living like fucking kings. Plus,
well, they are taking a risk to make it, so.
True.
Yeah, but I think that these ones are bringing these kids, and the weather temperature down south, and I know down towards Mexico, I know it's got to be almost 100 degrees sometimes. You know, they're coming up from what's that? Not Singapore. I don't want to keep thinking Singapore, but a South American country that
Venezuela?
all these people are living. Yeah, down south, one of the countries that a lot of them are from is because of the gangs and stuff like that are taking over that state.
Well, that's Mexico. Mexico, you have the cartels have pretty much owned that country.
Oh, yeah.
But why aren't you just shipping guns off to their citizens, training them how to protect themselves and their families, and giving them the tools that they need to blast these motherfuckers that are trying to, like rape their kids or, turn their kids into gang members and stuff. It'd be a lot easier to empower them than it would be to, say, oh, yeah, we'll keep you safe, but then they're bringing in all these, gang members and shit with them because they're not properly doing their jobs because they're not allowed to properly do their jobs.
The government systems, as bad as they are in the United States, are even worse in some of the southern countries. A lot of them are on the take. A lot of them don't care. A lot of them are actually investing in the illegal immigrations. Some of them are bought and paid for by the cartels and the gangs and everything else. They don't want the shit to get better in those countries. They don't want it because it would be less money in their own pocket.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it is. So I get why people want to come to the United States. I get why they want to go to Canada. I get it. But we don't want the problem. Understand it, and again, we're not just talking. I'm not just picking myself. I'm not just picking on Mexico and South America. Like, I don't care if you're coming from fucking Europe. I don't care if you're coming from the Middle East. The fact of the matter is I don't want your fucking problems in my country. If you come legally, and come because you wish to integrate into our society, not turn our society into your society. Because obviously, if you're running the United States, your society didn't work. Why would I want that? Yeah,
the United States is not the best place to run to.
You know, why would I want your problems?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same in Canada with people from the Middle East and stuff. They want to have Sharia law here or whatever. It's like, well, isn't that what you're running away from? It didn't work well for you there, and you think it's going to work better here?
Right. You know, so that's why like I'm not opposed to immigration. America, and I'm including Canada in this, because it's North America. America is a melting pot. We all know that. We are incorporated of a bunch of different cultures, coming from all different parts of the world that became one culture, one society. With that being said, though, we have created our own culture, our own society from that melting pot, from people who came together and created this culture. They didn't try to change it to some other culture. That's the problem.
It didn't work for them.
Right. That's the problem with today's society. Oh, I don't want to learn your culture, so let's change the language. Oh, I don't want to accept your right to religion, so let's force my religion. I don't want to conform to this, I don't want to conform to that, so make you conform to me. No. Fuck you. You came to my country. You came to my house. You don't tell me how to live in my house.
Hey, no.
Wherever you are, you respect their culture, you respect their ways. Like, if you're in, like, Japan or something and they're eating some weird walking fish, you eat it just to be polite.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, if I go over Eric's house, the best way I could dumb this down, if I go to Eric's house and Eric has a rule in his house that shoes are removed as soon as you walk in the house. That may not be the rule in my house, but I'm not in my house. That's Eric's house. I conform to his rule.
It's pretty simple.
It's very simple.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I agree with you, Chris, on that. But you got to remember something, as far as, like, what I do for a living, I do maintenance. Mm-hmm. So when tenants asked me to take my shoes off, I said, I can't. I need to have my shoes on. I was like, because if I'm working with a leak in the bathroom and there's electricity around, I ain't trying to get electrocuted.
Yeah, I just had it on like a minute.
But you do try to accommodate, because I've done the same deal where I've gone into like a Muslim home. There are people that or a Korean home where they do try to have you take your shoes off as soon as you walk in. And I tell them I can't, but the compromise is I bring little booties. I'll put the booties on over my shoes.
Plastic bags, yep.
Yeah. So that's my compromise. I still try to accommodate the way they live in their home, even though I'm there to do a service and it's for my own protection. That's a little different than me walking into your home and saying, "Fuck how you live. I'm going to do what I want in your house. I don't care about your rules."
Yeah,
right. Because most of them, their culture of eating, okay, they believe in eating their food off the floor. But I'm not that, like, necessarily it's made on the floor, but I'm saying they have a plate, but they basically eat their food from the floor. I've been in a couple units that they didn't have no kitchen tables. Basically, what they had was, it's just a carpet, like, kind of rug on the floor, and they accept, like, their plates. That's how they eat, in their culture. You know?
Right.
But not here. We sit at a table.
But if you go there, you do what they do.
Right.
You have to.
If you go to Japan, you sit on the floor. You sleep on the mat and stuff like it goes back to the metaphor I used. When I go into your house, when I am a visitor in your house, or even let's make it even further. Let's make it even further. I'm now a roommate in your house, but it was your house first. It's your rules that I must conform to because I chose to come to your residence. I don't come in and enforce my rules on your dwelling. It's the same with immigration. True. It's the same with immigration. When you come to the United States, you are walking into the house of the United States. You have to conform to the United States' rules. Not us conforming to yours.
I mean, I don't know. I know it was on TV here, but I'm saying about that American that decided to go Muslim and they want to arrest her. Did you read anything about that?
What was it? I didn't hear that.
The American that turned Muslim over in Europe, and they want to arrest her for, I guess, turning Muslim over there.
terrorism charges.
I know there was a woman from Georgia who went over, denounced her United States citizenship to marry an ISIS fighter and then tried to come back because, I made such a horrible mistake. Fuck you. You had a child.
After he died and she remarried 5 times or something?
Right. And she had children with other fucking ISIS terrorists and shit like that, and she wants to bring them back with her. I know there was the same deal in London. There was another girl who did the exact same thing, basically. And I didn't know anything about arresting. I did know that they were denied a return citizenship because they renounced their citizenship to join a terrorist organization. you turned in the house key.
You don't get a free pass to come back here doing that.
No. And even if we were willing to, you married an ISIS soldier, 5 ISIS soldiers. You advocated for death of Americans and allies and stuff of that nature in the name of Islam. And now you want to come back. Who's to say you're not coming back to be a fucking sleeper cell?
That's what it sounds like.
You know, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. How do we know? Maybe it's honest. Maybe it's truthful that you realize you made a horrible fucking mistake after fucking the 5th guy. You realize you made a mistake.
That's not a mistake at that point.
At that point, it's just a long string of mistakes. But
wait.
But for
sleep with 5 guys. I made a mistake, and you have 5 kids. Get the hell out of here. I'm putting you in front of the firing squad.
And that's a Democratic saying this.
Yes, I'm putting the firing squad.
Well, see, this is again what I was talking about before. We had this conversation before about like the shit that we're being fed in the mainstream media and stuff like that about the liberals and the conservatives on both sides. The shit that we're fed is not the actual truth. Most liberals and most conservatives can be reasonable even if they don't agree with ideals. They could be reasonable with each other. What you're seeing reported in the mainstream media, what you're seeing all the time in things like social media and shit like that, is the extremists. That's the extreme left, that's the extreme right. That's really not usually the general populace. The general populace usually is like, look, I don't agree with what you're saying, but you have a right to say it. It's the extremists that will turn around and say, I don't agree with what you say, so you're a misogynist and a racist and blah, 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 blah.
You know, a lot of people say, like I tell people, like, I don't have a problem. If you're Republican, you're Republican. I'm Democrat, Democrat. You're liberal, you're whatever you are. That's not what you base friendships on. Like, there's some people out there like, oh, I can't be friends with you. I said, you know what? You want to be my friend? Go ahead. But my political views, I don't hold against anybody. You know what I mean? I just grew up a certain way. Like I said, my grandfather, when I first registered to vote, I registered Republican. And I think it kind of upset him very much that when he's like, well, what did you register as? I said, I'm registered as a Republican. I think he got upset. Because he was Democrat.
What's that noise in the background?
I don't hear anything.
Somebody have TV on?
Oh yeah, I've got TV on, like really quiet.
Because it's picking up. Did you just mute it?
No, it's just on like really quiet.
That's really weird. All right, sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
Like I said, my grandfather got upset with me because when I first registered to vote, I picked Republican. I had no idea. I was just picking something. And he was upset because I picked Republican. He's like, well, I'm a Democrat. And he just gave it a big spiel about it. I was like, oh, God. You know?
You voted. Like, who cares? Like, you're exercising your right. Like, you're not supposed to be, like, prosecuted by your family members because you voted for someone. Like, no, get out there.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, there's times where, I've always voted straight Democratic with all these politicians. And it's like, I'll be honest. This is the first election that I did not vote at all because I didn't like either candidate. I didn't like Hillary, and I did not like Donald. So I don't vote for you if I don't like you.
I voted for Trump because I did not want Hillary in office. But in truthfulness, I wanted Ted Cruz, and my choice didn't make it. You know,
in Ontario, we had the vote like a few months ago, like a year ago, and like Kathleen Wynne, she was liberal, and she was actually going door to door and like trying to get young people to vote. She lost. She retired that same night after she lost. We had people voting for NDP, which were promising free handouts and everything, and the people voting for them were actually standing at the poll booths and telling people if you're voting conservative, like you're trash, you're this, you're whatever. And we had conservative people actually going around and picking up people, regardless of who they were voting for, and bringing them in to vote. And so that, like, I think the NDP tried to like rig the election somehow, and they still ended up losing.
Well, you bring up a very good point because we could definitely lean into American political points right now. One, let's get it out of the way. 2 years, God knows how many millions of dollars. Donald Trump is exonerated from any collusion with Russia. We knew this. Water is wet. Here's my question to you guys. Here's my question to you guys. Is it prudent now for maybe Donald Trump and the GOP to turn the tide and maybe start investigations into the ones that tried to raise a coup against his presidency, and maybe start getting them looked into their collusions and things that they've done, shady deals? In other words, is it time to target Hillary, Obama, and Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the powers that be that started all this shit?
You're fucking right, it's time.
Hey, if you do something wrong and you think you're going to get away with being sneaky, I think what I learned this past week, and listen, I love the TV show, but I was very disappointed to hear that the girl from Fuller House, they paid $500,000 for her husband, $500,000 a piece to put the kids in the U.S. You know what I'm talking about? Lori,
Lori Laughlin, yeah.
Yeah. That just ripped me the wrong way. I was like, are you kidding me? Is this the second time or the third time that involves college USC? Because you had the football player, brother Reggie Bush, but quote unquote how he got all the money that he got. But it's just crazy how people are paying these colleges money. You already make enough money off the students that are going who earn their right to go to the college. What, because Lori is a famous TV star and her husband's a director, whatever he is? It doesn't matter. You apply to go to that college, you didn't get in, so you applied to college for $500,000. Well, that's crazy.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree, and stuff. But my question is like with the Mueller investigation now in the books, and finally taken care of, the collusion thing has been proven false. That there was no collusion between Russia and Donald Trump and his campaign that allowed him to become president of the United States. This is 2.5 years of taxpayers' lives, resources and everything else that have been wasted on something that you knew wasn't the case. Is it time now for Donald Trump and his administration to turn the tides on those that have wasted all the taxpayers' money, wasted the resources, wasted the time of government offices into this investigation that proved no fruitfulness? Is it time? Would it even be prudent for them to just say, you know what? it's done, it's over, let's move on? Or is it prudent for them to turn around and say, all right, motherfuckers, now it's my turn?
Right. But so then what you're going to ask is for us, the American taxpayers, to fund or to pay more money out now. Okay, just listen, to pay more money out now, which we won't see our money. Okay, for another investigation that's going to take what 2-3 years to prove these other people wrong. You know, it's like a revolving door, Chris. It's going to be a revolving door. You know, it's going to go around in circles. You know?
That's fair enough. That was the question. Is it prudent to return the favor, or is it prudent to just say, you know what, it's over, let's move on? You know, that in turn was the question. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about, the other political thing I wanted to get involved with real quick, was here in the United States, Nancy Pelosi is pushing for the voters' age to be lowered to 16 years old. I don't know.
Nope.
I don't know how you guys were at 16, but I barely knew my times tables. How the hell is this person going to, or this type of person going to be able to pick the leader of the free world, the leader of their own cities, and just gubernatorial senate? Basically, how could we even allow children to
you're gonna allow we're gonna allow a 6-year-old kid to go into a voting booth? He's not gonna treat that thing very seriously. He's gonna treat that like a video game. Oh, I like this name. Click. I like this name. Click. He's gonna hit buttons. You know, like he's taking his PSATs. You don't know who they are. He's not. Right. Yeah. They don't sit in front of the TV to watch the news. They don't sit there to watch CNN. They're sitting there in front of the TV playing the video game system, playing a game called Fortnite for 12 hours a day. They ain't worried about politics.
Venus.
If there was characters' name on the voting booth or from the game Fortnite, how much you want to bet they probably picked it over somebody that's running for the office? I can guarantee I know one kid that would, and that's my own son, EJ.
Nah. You don't let EJ play Fortnite. Come on.
The kid is obsessed. I said, you're addicted. I said, you're like an addict led to a drug. He's like, no, I'm not. I said, he hounded me because I got the new S10, Samsung S10. And if you got the S10 phone, you have to fill out this thing and you can get this quote-unquote skin, they call it, for the game. I said no so many times, but of course, what did I do? I listened to my old lady and she said, is it going to hurt you? I said, no. So I do it for him. Don't you know, playing with these kids and he had the skin on, they're like, oh, I'm not playing no more. I'm like, what? I was like, I got you that, helped you get that skin, and now everybody's quitting the game. This game is like ruining our kids. I swear to God, it is. That's all you see them do. It's Fortnite.
No, you're absolutely right. Now we can get into that. We can definitely get into that. Fortnite is the dumbest thing on the fucking planet. For those that are listening that may not know, maybe you're not a gamer. Although I wonder why you're listening to this show if you're not into that type of culture. But Fortnite is a free-to-play online game that's usually on consoles, also on phone, to my knowledge. Also on PC. It is the dumbest thing. It's called a Battle Royale style game where you join in with a whole bunch of other players around the world. You run around collecting materials in this world and avoid getting shot at by other players. You get one life. If you die, that's it. You have to start the game over again. There's no story. There's no rhyme or reason to this game. There's no puzzle solving or skill building. It is literally go chop down everything you see and shoot everybody you see. It is the most brain-dead, mind-numbing thing on the fucking planet, and for some reason, everybody and their brother is playing this nonsense to the point, as Eric put it, as addiction. This is porn addiction with a controller. To look for a story in Fortnite is like looking for the killer Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the library while you're watching fucking a porno. It does not exist.
Look at Venus. She admitted, I played Need for Speed too. It's like I'm a driver's license. Who hasn't played games like that? These kids are so hooked with that game. I'm like, unbelievable. Listen, I tell you, I can't stand the game. Every time he puts it on, I let him use my PS4, and every time I let him go to play, he puts it on the game on there. I take it off. I don't even want to see it. You know, like I said, I play my hockey, I play my football, I play baseball, I play my sports games. There's not too many games I played on the PS4 that I enjoyed. You know,
right?
But I know one game I enjoy is The Division, and I got to get the sequel.
Eric is, Brian is actually playing The Division too. He says it's really, really good. Personally, I'm waiting for, sorry, had a message coming in. I'm personally waiting for Cyberpunk 2077 and The Outer Worlds to release. Those are the ones I'm really, really waiting for.
I'm looking forward to The Division 2, and I guess Mortal Kombat 11.
Did you see that thing going around for a while? They were trying to make a petition to get Shaggy from Scooby-Doo as one of the characters in Mortal Kombat 11.
No, what would you do that for?
Because of a meme. Again,
I mean, are you kidding me? Are these people kidding me? You're talking about a lovable dog. That's what he was, and you want to put him in a combat game against people that have swords.
Not Scooby, Shaggy, the skinny beatnik, the skinny beatnik with the green shirt.
What's he gonna do? Throw weed at everybody?
It's probably why they want him.
He's got a pot leaf shield? Oh, come on, man.
Well,
you know, Chris.
There was a meme going around for quite a while. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, God. Chris would tell you that the most despicable thing, and that's just like them going out trying to make a Chips movie that had nothing to do with the real cast people. Nothing.
Well, there was.
Listen, there's a couple movies that I thought that they did. Like, you're going back from a TV show. They tried to do Dukes of Hazzard and had Jessica Simpson at the time. Of course, they bring her in.
Your voice is
crazy.
Oh, I think we got Venus back.
Hey.
There she is.
There?
Yeah, that was her.
No,
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I was still listening to you guys, so I was like, I didn't realize I wasn't being heard.
My thing is, they need to go back to doing these original stuff. They got to today. I feel like Hollywood's just way off. Like, there's been movies that didn't take off that well, but they do good elsewhere. It's like over Europe. All these art movies that make over here, they do good in other countries, but not here. It's because you got people with their taste. Chris' taste in movies might be different from mine. And I'll be honest, I will say this. I am probably one of the first people that will admit it on the air that I walked out of a movie theater on a movie I paid $10, and I don't care that I wasted it.
Which movie?
Jason X. I I thought the way the commercial was talking, oh, this is gonna be awesome. Within 5 minutes, I was like, I looked at everybody else that was there. I was like, see ya. I went right outside. I was like, where you going? I was like, I'll be waiting out in the lobby for everybody. Yep.
I watched 5 kids walk out on the movie Glass.
Wow, really?
Really?
Yeah. 5 teenagers just walk out like probably 20 minutes into the movie. That movie sucked, by the way.
Didn't see it.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, listen, they make these movies and you watch the previews, you're like, oh, that's good. And then you go see the movie, don't you know that scene you saw on TV is not in the movie? You're like, okay, where was that funny scene at?
The preview of Glass, it was pretty much the whole movie. Like, what you saw on the preview is, like, in the movie, it's just the extended version of just more words, more boringness, some guys locked up. It was just unbelievably boring. I was not impressed.
Well,
no, they tried to turn...
Going off of what Eric said, it actually leads into something else we could talk about here, which kind of leads back to more of Venus's territory here. There's a petition right now going around that they want to turn Captain Marvel full-on lesbian. They want her to be gay. She looked gay. They feel that turning her gay would be a step forward for Marvel's diversity program. Guys, this is the same argument we had with the petition going to turn Wonder Woman bisexual, which, by the way, she's an Amazon. If you pay attention to the story, she is bisexual. Quit pushing ideologies on characters. Is it just me? Is it just me, or are you getting sick? Am I the only one getting sick and tired of the word diversity as an excuse to change shit?
Well, okay, Captain Marvel, like, it looked like she already had that love interest with that one girl that she used to be pilots with. They already had a connection, so if she turned out to be gay with her, it wouldn't even be surprising. Because they could just follow the storyline. Like, they had a great friendship. They were best friends a long time ago. She helped raise the girl's daughter. She has no interest in men. Obviously, her being gay would just be natural at this point.
I agree with that. I mean, I seen the movie. I really liked it. I kind of thought that was happening anyway in the movie. You just could just tell how she was interacting with her. But, yeah, you two could have had some love interest.
Well, it's the same argument you heard from Star Wars: The Force Awakens with Poe and Finn. They want that there was people pushing for Poe and Finn to be the first gay couple in Star Wars. It's like, understand, I'm not against, personally, and this is my viewpoint. You guys can play off of this how you want. I'm not against anybody being a character being represented that's homosexual. I'm not against a character who's a lesbian. I'm not against gay or a person of color or transgender type characters, especially in the superhero community. Here's my problem. Quit changing established characters. I've said it over and over again in so many different ways until I'm blue in the face. You're talking about characters that are based on comic books that have been this way for 80 plus years in some cases.
It came out?
You know, in some cases. Leave those fucking characters alone. Let them be what they are in the comic books and leave them alone. If you want a gay character, create a gay character. You want a gay, a transgender superhero? Create one. Wonder Woman doesn't have to be a transgender superhero. Create a new superhero that's transgender. It's so simple of a concept. Leave established characters alone.
Well, Wonder Woman's supposed to be like all girl power and stuff. You can't make her anything else but a woman. She's got tits, she's got a vagina, she is like femininity, like beyond, like she's feminism beyond feminism.
She's the original feminism, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And like Captain Marvel, like you don't have to tell us she's gay. We're already assuming she's gay.
Well, you're right, exactly, Venus. If you've seen the movie, you could tell. You could see some love interest there. But I think it's more like, you know, one of them like college frat girls, you know, like, oh, well, I tried this once, you know, whatever. Like, that's what it made it seem like they had that kind of connection, whatever. Like, if if you're gay or straight, what was it, gay in the military, stay in the closet, whatever. It's like,
don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, I don't know why they need to make it a big announcement or a big thing. Like, we're already under the impression that she is gay. Like, we don't need you telling us. Like, we already got that overtone. Now we're just waiting for it to happen. Like, it's bound to happen. You could tell they liked each other.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I've been out of school for a long, long time. I don't want to say when it, how long it's been, but I'm just saying, are you trying to re-teach us now? Oh, wait a minute, let's just talk about gays and movies or put it out there. But you gotta remember one thing: our kids read like Chris, I read comic books, and now our kids read comic books of gay characters. And bad enough with that parental guidance.
Guys, just to let you know, hold on a second, Eric. Just to let you know, I don't know. We got to have a cross connection or something going on, because now I've got loud music coming in over the and the stream is picking it up. I do apologize for this, guys. I don't know what's going on. Just giving you a heads up that this is going on. The panel may not be hearing it, but I'm hearing it, and I know the stream is hearing it as well.
I hear music on my end.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what's going on. We might have a cross connection. Tonight we did use Facebook Messenger. It could be Facebook's issue. So I do apologize for that, guys. As a matter of fact, because of how loud it is, I'm going to go ahead and say we'll save this conversation for another time. We'll get more in depth about it. Eric, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Eric Batista Sr. I am I'll put it out there for when I write it down for next time.
All right, cool. And Venus, why don't you tell everybody what they can expect for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, I'm having Jay Madonna come back to help me guest host. I've got my friend JD Doyle coming to guest host on It Had to Be Said with Venus, and we will be talking about feminazis, the cancer of society, and you can find me on Facebook at Venus Chan or Solar Nova. You can find me on Instagram at Venus Uncensored, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
And, of course, you guys can find me anywhere that says Realm of the Mist Entertainment, right here on Realm of the Mist Podcast. Tomorrow night, It Had to Be Said with Venus. And, of course, Wednesday nights with War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did in any capacity, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, comment, subscribe on Anchor, on Spotify, on iTunes. Make sure you're sharing that out. Give us a like. Give us 5 stars. Give us anything you can, because without you guys, there is no us. And also, make sure you go to the website that is in the description down below. And while you're there, click the link to support on Patreon or support on Anchor. Every dollar you help out with is a dollar we can make sure that we don't get cross feeds like this ever again. Guys, thank you very much, and have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.